Good morning. It's Kay Francis, your host, here from Knoxville. And I have to tell you, I'm so excited to be back today and with all of you. I greatly appreciate your decision to join us and are thrilled to be part of our growing community. But before we delve into today's topic, I want to share with you a very unexpected change that I encountered upon my return from a brief visit to Florida. Last year was February exactly. The environment I had left, meaning my office environment, was very friendly and largely due to a really great administrator, ran very smoothly. It had transformed into total chaos. The plan for everyone was suddenly scrapped. We had planned that the whole office, all the same people, and the administrator would just move to a new location because they had sold the building. Well, that wasn't happening because before I even got back, two therapists had already turned in a 6-week notice, and we had to the end of July before our lease would run out. And I'm talking February. Well, that was a big shock. And all of a sudden, people weren't talking in the office. They were avoiding one another. The whole environment had changed. It wasn't the same place we knew. The administrator, she'd been there 24 years and thought she would retire from there. There was a sadness in the air because you work that long with people and you build a little family. Yeah, sometimes the family argues, sometimes they don't agree, but you build a family. So there I was. And then what happened? Same week that I got back, I found out that I had to make a decision sooner than I thought about where I was going to go. Then I learned that Sarah, our social media guru, as I always told her she was moving to California and would be gone by the middle of August, end of August. Then Megan came in, the editor, to inform me that she was moving forward and would be done by the end of June. Now understand, could be nothing but happy for them. It was that change in their life was exciting for them. You know what I said? It was exciting. Well, I'd like to say I was excited in that moment, but I have to tell you, my heart dropped to my toes, and I thought, oh dear, I don't know how to do social media. I have no idea how to do billing. What in the world am I going to do? And I have no office. So, you are not going to be shocked about what I'm going to tell you because I've never made it a secret that I'm a believer. So I went into the office, my personal office, shut the door, sat down quietly, and I said, Jesus, you really have a sense of humor. What am I going to do? And with that, I talked to him like he's in the room with me. And I asked him, I said, I trust you and I will follow you. So please guide me because I don't know what I'm doing or how I'm going to do it. And you know better than anyone that it affects everything in my life, including my income. Because now I can't even accept insurance at this point. One day, I had a realization that I had to do something different. After 17 years of practice in Knoxville and total over 40 years. So there's a beauty to this story. There's excitement and adventure. Because I got up and here's what happened. Despite this unexpected and gosh knows challenging changes, I found the strength to adapt and move forward. And here's what happened. First, I was blessed with Kevin, the music leader at the church that I go to, who encouraged me to continue with the podcast. But now he wanted to add something to it. He insisted I should be on YouTube. No, I don't really like to be in front. I like to be behind the scenes, but he wasn't having that. So I'm thinking, well, enough change. Now you want me to do YouTube. Okay, I'm going to trust this. He's taken his personal time now and put together everything I needed so this could be possible today. And believe me, I wouldn't have had known what to do if somebody was offering me $1 million to do it. I wouldn't have the first idea. Then what came along, I was also blessed with my daughter's friend in Atlanta, Kendra, who I had met sometimes along the way. Very talented girl, who found me our new editor and social media guru, all in one, the talented Isabel, whom we call Izzy, and so can you. So there you go. That was the end of it. I had two friends, and one of which worked for me for 15 years in Florida and handled all of what I didn't know how to handle. And they were coming up for 3 days, exactly this time. And she said to me, Kay, don't worry, it'll take us a day. You know Frank, he knows how to do spreadsheets and everything. We'll just set you up and we're going to make it simple so you can follow it. And I thought, oh, they don't know me that well. And she did. She knew me really well. And she knew how I worked, my limitations, how she could get frustrated with me, always getting caught up in little details that weren't as important as they sounded to me, all kinds of things. And there they came. We'll have this in one day. It took us them and me to learn 3 full days, nonstop, from the time we got up in the morning, which was early, until we went to dinner and took a dinner break. And that was usually like 6:30 at night. These were long days. That was the extent of their vacation at my house. We worked. So I don't think that was a coincidence that all these people presented themselves to me, asked for nothing. And that to me is a God job, because it certainly didn't, none of this could happen without it. I've told you before where I get my titles for these podcasts. You know, that Holy Spirit just really talks and talks and talks. So when you think about it, I really have been blessed. And that's just what it's been for me. Now, if you're a non-believer, don't be so quick to shut down and decide you don't want to hear this, because there's still information you can learn from if you're open. And like I've always told you, I respect whatever you are. That's your personal choice. But it's interesting, when we think about change, we usually get worried about it, or most people do, fear of the unknown. But it really isn't fearful. There's 2 ways of operating in our lifetime. We can operate personally out of fear, even though we don't call it that. People deny that that's what it is. They don't want to admit that. Or we can operate out of love. That's the 2 main ways you can operate in this lifetime. For a lot of people, they get stuck in fear. And that doesn't give them the greatest attitude going through life. That complicates the journey. Unlike love, that makes it easier. Just think what our environment is today. Just think about it. What if that changed to love? Now, I know that's ideal, and I know you think that can never happen. And the only time that's going to happen, well, I won't go there, okay? But what I'm saying to you is that if we had that, what do you think it would look like? I think it would be pretty good. I think it would be wonderful. But man is human, and look at climate change. They were talking about it in the 17th century. Where are we today with climate change? How did that work out? Did it work out because man listened? No. No, there wasn't any gain for them to really listen. It was going to cost money, not make money. So we didn't do much about it. I'll say no more. You get the point. So I want you to think of change in a new way if you can. Now, I'm not talking about personal growth or any of that. I'm talking about your perceptions, not only yourself, but of how you perceive your outside world. Let's look at some of the changes that are factual that can happen in a person's life, and there's many. You could be out of a job tomorrow. You could have a job change. You might have to move to another state, another country for that matter. You could have physical change. Something physically has happened that's changed the way what you can do and what you can't do. And you've had to learn how to accommodate that. You can have a whole lifestyle change. A marriage. Maybe you never thought you'd get married, and there you are married. Or having a family. And believe me, within families, your family of origin, and in the family you develop, and your community of friends, there's going to be all kinds of change. Because that's how it works. And that list goes on and on. So whatever the change, and again I say you're going to have a lot, it's how you approach it. What is your attitude? Are you out of fear? Do you see that as negative? Or do you want to approach it with excitement and see it as a new adventure in your life? You have to tell yourself, what do I want to choose to do with it? For anyone listening who is not a believer, don't be so quick to decide you don't want to hear this podcast, or at least you don't want to finish it. Because actually, if you're open, there's always something you can learn. I've learned a lot from non-believers. Hopefully they've learned from a believer, It's the idea of not being afraid. It's the idea of being involved and connecting. So before we close today, I just want you to know how grateful I am that I can sit here today and tell you, guess what? It is what it is, or is it? It's very much alive and going because of other people and my upstairs person. If you've never called on him, trust me, he's powerful. And also the fact that all of you listeners have been so loyal. You've been with me every step of the way from the first day. And I can't tell you how grateful I am. And it's been fun, and I'm excited. And now, because of all of you and the people that made it happen, welcome to YouTube. And I'm going to end on that because I just love the idea. And I hope you do too. Feel free to email me and comment. I'd love to hear from how you think it went. This is our first airing. So you can hear me like you always did, or you have a choice. You don't have to look at my face, so to speak. You can just hear it. But if you want to join in, come on. I would like you to follow me. It would be great. So, to all of you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And let's just keep on growing, and let's just show them that you don't have to be famous. You just move along in life. And you just do what you're guided to do or what you feel you need to do. But you don't operate out of fear because you won't get there. So, with that, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Don't know what the topic is going to be. I usually announce it, but you also know there's plenty of times I never know what it's going to be. I need that Holy Spirit to tell me. And so I close and wish you all well. Thanks again, new listeners. I hope you enjoyed today. And what can I say? My blessings to all of you.